And good morning and welcome to Tadpoll for another Thursday morning. So glad you could join us. Had a little rain to talk about, but not much. We need more out there. And our guest this morning here on the Tadpoll, Eldine Holthus. Hi, Eldine.
I do. How you doing, Ted? Good to be back again.
Yes, sir. Nice to have you here. We'll be talking about some things going on in Smith County, and of course that involves not only Smith County, but people from anywhere seeing this are welcome to come and get involved in the things we'll be talking about. Also, hospice is going to be joining us this morning.
Yeah, the big hospice fund drive is coming up. Morris Engel will be talking about the Phillips County Community Foundation. Wes Hall about walking for some of the older people, getting a program going, getting people walking. Angie Wells will stop by to talk about the big Easter egg hunt coming up this Saturday. And I got word this morning that maybe the Easter Bunny is going to be here sometime this morning. So
that'll be great.
Yeah,
I might wait around to see if he's got something for me.
Anyway, hope that's not a sure thing, but word was that the Easter Bunny was in town.
Good.
And so maybe do that. But you know, through the years, Eldine, we've enjoyed talking about a lot of things. Mitch, and we've enjoyed talking about the home on the range, but that's just a little bit of what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about something pickleball, and also we're going to be talking about the big golf tournament coming up. But what's going on now at the home on the range?
Well, 1 year ago, as a fundraiser for Home on the Range, Mitch and Tammy, along with the Smith County Golf Club and the People's Heartland Foundation, had what they called an annual golf tournament. And this year's the second one of those. And what we do, it's a golf tournament from people from all the areas. And Mitch, knowing the people that he does, invites people from Kansas City. We have people come from all over the state of Kansas, border to border and coast to coast, also some out of Nebraska. And they come and play. And then we also we have included a pickleball tournament. And now the golf thing is pretty much common to everyone, a four-man scramble,
right.
And the team is $200. And I think you're going to show a poster a little bit later of the tournament. And if people want to go to the Home on the Range Cabin Facebook site, they can see this. They can see this poster. But anyway, we have golf and pickleball, and we're going to have the movie. We're going to have a banquet. Going to have musical entertainment. It will, for this time, it's all going to be in the Smith Center High School building. Now, if there's enough pickleball players, they may have to go to the grade school for that, depending on how many play. But anyway, and then from about 10 to 4 in the afternoon, there'll be some people out to the Home on the Range site if they just want to come out and tour and look around out there. We don't have any formal activities on site. Everything will be at the high school in Smith Center. Yeah.
Right, and of course, and this is a folder.
That's the flyer, yes, sir. That's that tells the whole thing. And
that's going to be a busy Saturday.
It's a busy Saturday, and it involves lots of people. A lot of people work hard, and last year it was an extreme success. Now the money raised, Tad, is that this is a foundation, a 501c3, and all of the money raised goes to the benefit the Home on the Range, because the foundation and Mitch and Tammy and I and some others, we have worked, and so we have sponsors with whole sponsors and other sponsors so that everything is underwritten. Mm-hmm. So every dollar that is paid for an entry fee or that's ever paid for the meal or paid for the movie, this will all go to benefit the Home on the Range site.
Okay, how's that coming?
That's excellent. That's another whole story, but the cabin was restored. You were part of that. You remember that, yet? Yes. You remember that. The cabin was restored in 13, rededicated in 14. We've now completed a comprehensive plan, and we now have 55 acres. The entire length of West Beaver Creek now is included.
Wow.
So we're going to have it's wild. That's another. Yeah. We had shared off air that. I probably have another 3 or 4 shows, and we could talk about that later on.
Sure.
But today I'd like to talk about this tournament.
Right, sure. Okay. I know what golf is. I know very badly what golf is. I play it very badly. I don't play it anymore. In fact, I was so bad. They wouldn't let me on the course. They said I could play, but no one else was allowed on the course
There
when I
you
was
go.
out there because no one was safe.
Right.
Behind me, in front of me, wherever. When I teed off. Anyway, so I know what golf is, but what's pickleball?
Well, I got to tell you my golf thing. I never did play golf because I always thought if I had the ball in my hand, why do I want to hit it someplace and then go look for it? So I never did play golf. But pickleball is kind of interesting. I've not played it either, but I saw it in Kansas City, and I come to find out it's the hottest item now for the people of all ages. And it's a social game, which is a combination of tennis, which you played, and ping pong and badminton. It's played on a 20 by 40 court. The net is the same height as a tennis net. They use a wiffle ball a little bit heavier than what we know before, and a paddle a little bit larger than a ping pong paddle. And the game is an 11-point game, and you score just like you do in tennis or in ping pong or something else like that, except they have an area about 4 feet wide on each side of the net, which they call the kitchen. And you cannot step into the kitchen unless you and I were playing. If you hit the wiffle ball back to me and it landed in that area, I can then step into that area to hit it. But if you hit something close to it and I accidentally step into the kitchen, I lose the point. And so anyway, so that what that prevents is running up to the net for the slam.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And so anyway, then and the way it would work is that the first serve has to be underhanded. I serve to you. It bounces in front of you. You hit it back underhanded to me. I must let it bounce once, and then you can hit it any way you can, just like ping pong or tennis. It either hit it on the fly or let it bounce once, and so the score is the same then.
Okay, how do you serve? You serve underhand too?
The serve must be underhand, and so that's what I'm saying. The serve must be underhand. You must let it bounce, and then you hit it back to me, and it must be underhand.
Okay.
I must let it bounce.
Okay.
Okay, then it's free game from there on.
And you have lines where you're outside.
Yeah, it's all outlined, and
right
everything is out. You're out of bounds. All the scoring is the same except for that kitchen area. Yeah. They call it on each side of the net where you can't get into that.
Well, that makes sense because someone get it back and you can just wham that thing back.
Well, it doesn't bounce. See, the wiffle ball doesn't have a dependable bounce, and so I mean, there would be no way that you could return a slam if you could run to the net and slam it, right?
Yeah,
and it's an exciting game.
Okay. My son was telling me the other day that in Junction City he plays it, and they go one of the people who live in Junction City. They have a tennis court, and they go out there when the weather's and use it. You don't make the different rules on. They said it's really fun. It's really fun.
Well, and one of the things that Mitch and Tammy want to do it. I kind of get it from Mitch and so forth. We like to be a little bit innovative, and it's played in almost all the schools in physical education, but it doesn't go anywhere beyond that. And the adults haven't become involved, and so you've either had golf or tennis, which were more skilled games. This is not a great skill game. It's a neat, moderate exercise game, and so we're really trying to get it introduced into the area, and we're trying to get some people to come and to try it out. We'll see how it goes. In fact, we're going to have professional pickleball players. There's a group that actually is one of the sponsors for our tournament out of Kansas City that's bringing some equipment, and they're bringing some players. And so there's going to be a demonstration at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
We're going to have an introductory clinic at 1 o'clock, and then the tournament, this is on the 14th of March, 14th of April, and the introductory clinic, and then they play back and forth and just fool around and practice, and then we'll go for serious at 2:30.
Okay. And didn't Phillipsburg, or we have a pickleball court out here? Yeah, we just made a pickleball court out here in the park out here. It's outside, of course. It has to be better weather, but we have a pickleball court out here now.
Yeah, and I think I looked at Smith Center. They do play some tennis on their courts yet, but they haven't all fixed them up. So they have a place over there they could, on their tennis courts, could make a pickleball. Yeah. And you could either with just simply tape.
Sure.
You could take a tennis. You could
Well,
take a
put the
regular
lines
tennis.
down,
Yeah,
yeah.
for a tournament. But you can't. You can use a court at the same time. And that. But no, it. I think it's a great game for for all the people at all ages to come and learn.
Okay. And I think that's a good point there. There's a lot of running in tennis, but there's not that much in pickleball.
No.
You don't have to do that much.
And you don't have so far to go.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
the court is smaller.
Yeah.
And then the other thing with it, that's another story I can come by. Smith County is trying to save our wellness center. We're involved because of our hospital. That's another story. But it does relate to the wellness part of what's going on with people. It's a nice, moderate type of exercise.
Okay. All right. Now, you might talk about the dinner again just a little bit.
Yeah, I want to talk about the dinner, but I want to talk also about how what's been exciting about this, and I just learned something this morning, just before I walked in here today. First off, I'm taking these posters around to the schools and having other people do them. And I was in Beloit day before yesterday, and I stepped into their office, and I said pickleball, and there were about 5 adults immediately into the office, and then they said, yeah, Smith Center's having a pickleball tournament. Home of the Range is sponsoring a pickleball tournament. Sign us up. And so then they issued a challenge to all their administrators, their faculty, and their students.
Wow.
Administer a challenge to all the other schools to come to Smith Center, and they want to take them on in pickleball. And so I wanted to point that out because they especially would like to see some Panthers and some Red Men over there because I don't think they like us very good.
Okay.
And I know we don't like them very good, but I didn't tell them that. But that's kind of unspoken in this country. Yeah. And then the other thing you mentioned about the meal, if the individuals come and play golf, that buys them the meal and the movie. Now, you said you weren't going to come and play golf, and maybe you won't come and play pickleball.
Yeah.
But you can come over, buy a ticket to the dinner, barbecue dinner. Then you can stay for another $5. You can stay and see the Home of the Range movie.
Okay.
And then there'll be musical entertainment by the McKinney sisters who are in the movie. And then, interestingly enough, you asked about Mitch and Tammy. Mitch is in that movie. He's a radio announcer. I mean, I don't know how he ever got that job.
Yeah,
but I don't know what his qualifications were.
Typecasting maybe or something.
I don't know what that was. But anyway, they asked him, and so there's other locals in that movie. But it's a great day to come to Smith Center, support a great cause, the Home of the Range cabin and site, and just have a lot of fun. And I think we have something that should appeal to everyone.
Okay, it sounds like you're really busy, and if I came over and played pickleball, I need a walker though.
Well, you and I might play together. We'd be about the same speed. I tell you what, how old are you now?
84.
84. Well, I'm 85, and so
Wow.
I tell you what, Ted, I want to congratulate you, and you and I, if we can get up every morning and have something to do, we go to bed at night and we say, Lord, we didn't get it all done, but we gave it our best shot.
Yeah, that's it.
And so that makes our days, and we're each alone now, and so we can live out our lives doing things like this.
And and I found out that the more things you do, the better off it is.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
People ask me a lot of times, sure glad you're here. And I said, well, I sure am too, because the alternative is not all that good.
That's right. Well, and I always tell them I'm still vertical. So
Okay. So we're going to have you on. Can you come next Thursday and talk about something else?
Well, I better pass on that because I tell you what, the reason is, well, I got another thing. That's another thing I'm in. I'm also in an Alzheimer's study.
Oh, you are?
And that's another whole story.
Are you doing that thing out of Wichita?
No, I'm doing it out of KU. I'm going right direct to the head shed. I'm at KU Med Center.
Okay.
And I never drink their coffee, and I never wear purple. And I always have somebody taste my coffee before I drink it down there. But really, other than that, I'm getting along pretty good at KU Alzheimer's Center.
Yeah. So they ask you questions and stuff?
Oh, that's another story.
Okay.
It's like being
I'd be interested in that because I've had that in my family,
Well, I tell you what, it's an hour and a half of grilling, and they keep asking you questions until about 10 or 11 subjects, and you always finish getting it wrong. They keep questioning you till you make a mistake.
Do they ask you? Do they ever ask you to take a draw clock and put the?
Oh,
hands
that's
on
the
it?
easiest part.
I know. Yeah, really.
Well, we're going to get off. We're
They say-
getting off. We're
they'll
getting off.
give you-
We're getting off the. We're getting off the golf tournament, Dad. I tell you, you and I, we're like a.
Well,
we're like a moth. That. But I'll come back and talk about that.
I'd like to because. That's interesting because I had that in my family for 5 years.
And the interesting thing is that when I was interviewing for it, I told them what I was doing, and with the wellness center, I got another connection down there from KU that's going to help us at Smith Center, and it can help the whole North Central area on Alzheimer's.
All right, okay.
That's another story.
All right, we'll get you out of here. One question:
Yeah.
How's Mitch doing?
Mitch is doing fine, extremely busy. So people always wonder what he does.
Every Saturday afternoon, a lot of times they'd be doing a Big 12 basketball game.
He did the Big 12, and then he did Missouri Valley. Of course, it works for ESPN.
Yeah.
And so that the other thing, ESPN, they always talk about they don't make any money, but in their infinite wisdom, when they did the Big 12 tournament, Mitch was in Kansas City. He could have drove from home and did the game.
Sure.
But no, they sent him to the Sun Belt game in New Orleans, and he didn't know anything about them, so he went 2 days early.
Yeah.
So he could see the semifinal or the quarterfinals and semifinal games and learn them. And then last week he finished up. He did a game. He drove to Milwaukee to do a game with Marquette and Oregon. Mm-hmm. Then he had 3 speeches in Iowa and one in Seneca, Kansas before he got home last week.
Wow. Okay, wow.
So he does his speaker bureau, basketball, football, and then he helps me.
And once in a while, I see you at the ball game. I saw it.
I got to go. I get a tag along, and what I do once in a while is that I wasn't able to go to this one, but sometimes if he has to drive and Tammy can't go with him, I will go down and I will drive, and then we can visit, and he can work on his charts and do that kind of stuff going down the road. And then once in a while I get on camera for doing that. So
I think one time you were at the Spence Center. I saw you sitting down there, and I came down to sit with them. KU or K State was playing some.
Well, that's the one that Mitch got in trouble, but we don't go there either. Okay. So that's a private story.
Okay, all right. I wasn't aware of that.
Now you're going back a ways.
Okay, all right. Well, anything else?
No, I don't think so. I just want to invite them to come and make sure, and they contact they can check the poster for to contact Mark McLean or Vernon Rankin to make their appointments for whatever they want to do. Now, we do need, Mark reminded me today when he called, we do need the reservations for the dinner by next Wednesday, which would be the 3rd, I think.
Okay.
3rd or 4th, whatever, 4th, I think,
yeah.
Next Wednesday. And so anyway, the 4th, and because we have our caterer has to order supplies.
Right.
And so that would be the thing. But the rest of it's open for that day to come in, and there'll be somebody around. Now, last year, Mitch had Kendrick West from the Chiefs.
Really?
Now, if he has someone, he hasn't told us yet.
No.
So if I happen to get that, I may give you a bulletin or something on that to let you know.
Okay, good. Well, Chiefs, about every day, this is not football time, about every day in the paper, you read about something the Chiefs are doing or not doing.
Yeah, and don't talk to me.
I won't get into that.
We won't get into that either. So we got to see what I mean. You and I can talk here for half a day. So we don't want to do that. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I like your hat.
Thank you. You bet. Thank you.
Fine. Eldine Holt was with us. We'll have him back on because we never worry about filling in time. You give us whatever, and we'll fill that time. Thanks a lot, Eldine. Okay.
I still didn't get your email. You didn't send me an email.
Okay, I put the address down on there again, and he's got it.
No, it's all lowercase.
Okay. We might remind you that the Tadpoll brought to you by all your friends at the Farmer State Bank in Phillipsburg who are interested again the moment you enter the door. Interested, you remember FDIC. Mapes and Miller, it's not what you make, but what you keep. Mid-America Real Estate, providing the best homes in the area for over 40 years. Blossoms and butterflies, making beautiful flowers a part of your life. Sign Solutions, your one-stop sign shop, and so much more. Madison Motors, in business for over 70 years, and Rogers Associates, your local trusted choice agency. Okay, so you know what pickleball is?
Well, sort of. I think it's an old man's tennis.
Okay, well, yeah, well, this is they're going to have one over at Smith Center, and they're
Oh,
going to
cool.
have a golf tournament. They will let me on. We talked about that with LD, but that's coming up. What's going on with the Phillips County Community Foundation?
Well, actually, I'm here sort of in connection with that, but also the Hanson Foundation
All right,
to talk
but
about
they work close. You know, we work closely with Hanson.
Absolutely,
Thank
yeah.
goodness for the
Yeah.
Hanson Foundation.
The Hanson Foundation is really interested in promoting the arts for this region, and they've been really helpful with the Arts Council here. But this is an independent movement that they're doing on their own, and they are sponsoring the Lovewell Institute for for professional artists to come to Phillipsburg in June for a week and work with high school students
Wow.
on creating their own musical.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will be June 4th through the 8th, and it's open to anyone who's completed 8th grade or just graduated as a senior, so those high school years. So they gather on Monday. They'll be working with professional musicians, choreographers, set design, light, sound, that sort of thing.
Wow.
So they'll come in, they'll pick a topic, write a script, write some music, create some dances, paint the sets, and do all that. It's
And
kind of
then
like
do
the
a
old-
show?
And then do a show on Friday evening. So I just wanted to get the word out to
Wow, that's great.
to the kids and parents or anybody that has a high schooler.
Sure.
If you
Anywhere. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be Phillips County.
No, it can be anywhere in this region.
Wow,
Yeah, we're
that-
encouraging people.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, kids from
Both
Stockton.
vocal and instrumental?
Yeah, I think it'll be
Okay,
whatever.
it's the whole thing,
yeah,
anything
they'll
with
put
music.
they'll put the show
Wow.
together. So it's kind of like the old.
What
Mickey
I was going to say,
Rooney,
Judy Garland and the Mickey Rooney
Yeah,
thing.
hey, kids,
I was
let's
thinking
do a
about
show.
that. Yeah, let's put on a show here.
But the beauty of this is that you'll have the professional help to do that. So, there is a $50 per kid charge.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also scholarships available. So if a student needs some help financially,
Sure.
you can
Wow.
you can also click on that. So what I need people to do, or if you're interested, the students themselves actually go online and register and sign up for it, and you can link through the Hanson Foundation website. But Lovewell, just like it sounds, LOVEWELL.org. It's a nonprofit theater arts group just devoted to working with students. And so it's just a great
That's wonderful. Now,
opportunity.
kids
Yeah.
will be, the students will be involved for 5 days.
5 days,
on that.
right, at the Huck Boyd.
Daytime stuff.
Yeah, daytime, yeah. And, we have a lot of the state-of-the-art lighting and sound at the Huck Boyd. You got a
Sure.
stage, you got a 500-seat auditorium, so
Wow.
what better place to have this? And the Hanson Foundation is doing this in 4 communities totally. Concordia, Russell, and Colby. Well, Phillipsburg is
this
kind
whole
of the
area.
first one out of the gate in the
Wow.
pilot. So we really want to take advantage, and it'll be fun to see what the kids come up with by that Friday evening performance.
So they're going to write their own, they're going to write and everything.
Yeah, exactly. They pick a topic, I think, and then write a script. And where one kid might not be so interested in writing the play that you put, but they want to get some music going.
Sure,
Or
right. Wow.
I want to learn how to paint a set to make it look like it's real and that sort of thing.
Some
So,
training on
yeah,
voice
exactly.
and everything,
Yeah.
on
So,
an
yeah.
instrument and everything.
Yeah, so
How many, any idea how many
professional
people?
people. Not for sure.
Sure.
I'm thinking maybe
We'll do that.
at least 4, because you'd have
Sure.
to have that covered.
Yeah.
Jim Thompson, who is our local guy that manages the technology
Sure.
at the Huck Boyd
Right.
Center, is kind of our host
Yeah,
for
wow,
that.
that's-
So
that's
I just want to get that word out.
Well, that's
so.
got to help down the road doing when the Phillips County Arts Council wants to put something on.
Oh.
They've got that experience
Right,
there. That's
yeah.
gonna
Hey,
really-
we need
that's really
somebody
gonna be helpful.
to run the light board. And of course, we're doing the Wizard of Oz
I
this
know.
summer.
Yeah.
So any kid that's, have that on their resume, I learned how to do some stuff with the Lovewell group. So I want to
Sure,
transfer
right,
that
yeah.
to help out with the production here.
Well, that's great, and we'll have to talk about more of this because and is there word going out to all the schools? too,
Yes,
and
yes,
everything?
we're working closely with Kelsey Pinkerton at the high school and Vesta Joe at Logan, and
That's
I'm,
great,
I'm
yeah.
going to make a contact in Stockton. So,
And
one more thing I want to just
sure,
quickly mention, along with this same kind of push by the Hansen Foundation, they're sending around, making available a kids musical that is going to be presented to the schools, the elementary schools, kind of like a lyceum in our time.
old time license, yeah.
But it's called The Seeds of Change, and it's based on the Shakespearean play The Tempest. And so we've got a little young lady who's really kind of needs to learn a few life lessons, and she has some adventures. The kids sit around and watch the show. They interact with the characters, and it's free to all of the elementary schools in the area. So, and that'll be next fall.
Okay,
And so each
that's a
school,
great idea, too,
each
if you
school
get
has
involved
to
in
sign up. But it just another example of how the Hansen Foundation wants to push the arts.
Logan, every year they have something that comes in there too, just for the Logan people. I think Hanson, I think he had magicians and stuff
Oh,
like this,
that's
and I
right,
think that's
right.
kind of part of all that. But
Yeah.
this is great to get that out.
Yeah, yeah. So I've made contacts with
lessons
the
on
school
living
people.
and
Yeah.
kind of things.
So
Okay.
and it what's neat about it, you're right there. You're not on watching from a stage. You can
Sure,
see how
yeah,
the characters are just right up close. So
I tell you, it's going to be that's great about this program this summer. I just think that
Yeah,
kids can do that.
and
That movie was just on the other night. For Mickey,
Oh, yeah.
and Paul Whiteman, we got him on
the
there,
orchestra,
all that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
yeah, those are
let's build a stage and put on a musical there.
those are
Judy Garland.
timeless. Yeah, turn the
Those are-
barn into
yeah.
a stage.
You mentioned lyceums. Do they have lyceums in school anymore?
I'm sure they do, but I don't think they call them that.
I'll never forget. This goes way back, and I was in Garden City School. They had lyceums about once a month. The boys looked forward to that.
Oh yeah.
And they talk about anything. We had a lady come on one time that had just come back from Colombia,
Oh.
South America, and I don't know why I remember this, but had just come back from and was talking about Colombia.
Yeah.
And she said, "Does anyone now? This was in the auditorium, 200 or 300 kids in there, And she said, "Does anyone know what the capital of Colombia is? Do you know what it is?
I think it's Bogota.
Bogota." I was the only one who knew it. I was the only,
Well,
at least
good
I was
for
the only
you.
one in Bogota, and she gave me a little prize,
Oh,
for
yeah,
knowing where
cool,
Bogota,
cool.
Colombia was. Yeah, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
But anyway, one other question: Have you firmed up your Phillips County Arts Council stuff yet?
Yes, we're having a. She's a Russian pianist, and she does musicals, movie scores.
Oh wow!
And while she plays and talks about the music from each movie, she'll show clips of the movie
Wow, okay, that's good.
at the front of the stage.
Yeah, wow.
And she's really,
Now,
the
that starts in
Russians.
the fall, right? Or is that the
This will
spring?
be a June program.
Okay,
yeah.
June, okay.
And then in the fall, then we're bringing another kind of an interactive musical that'll be for the kids too, called A Night in Frogtown, and it's a diversity
Sure.
teaching kind of a program. Actually, the kids will watch it during the day, and then we'll have the evening performance for
And
the
of course,
adults.
Wizard of Oz this summer too.
And Wizard of Oz this summer, yeah. And
that's
then
kinda-
we just finished the Odd Couple,
Yeah.
which that was really a comical.
And it was on the other night. It was on the Turner Classic Movies,
Oh,
so I
was
had
it?
to watch that.
Yeah.
Nothing like the version
the-
out here. This is the women's version. out
Right.
here,
Yeah. It was.
It was good though.
So, anyway, that's
All right,
kind
well,
of the
busy
lineup.
time.
So,
And,
absolutely.
Okay, and we'll be talking about strategic. We're going to be doing something about the strategic thing again.
Yeah, we'll have a follow up.
Okay, all right, fine. Very
Okay,
good.
thank you,
I think that's a
Ted.
great idea
Yeah,
about,
so,
bringing in those. I'll let maybe I can have a couple of them on as Tadpoll.
Yeah, if we
the
get,
professional.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and even the kids that are involved and say, "Hey, come out to the show
Okay.
tomorrow night." It'll be in Yeah, it would be like June the 7th for your show. So.
Billy Joel isn't coming in by any chance.
No, I don't think. I think
got
he's
$1 million.
busy. Yeah.
$1 million to get Billy Joel in there. I think. Okay, thanks a lot,
You bet.
Forrest. Thanks.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. All right, busy morning. And next we'll be talking. I don't know who's out there. I can't see anymore. I don't know who is next. A reminder: the Tadpoll brought to you by the Phillips County Health Systems, Olive Bowie Memorial Chapel, Stephen E. Rush, your State Farm agent, Sonic Drive-In, like us on Facebook to see our Sonic deals, Phillipsburg Chamber at Main Street where the roads are paved with opportunity, Farmers and Ranchers Outlet, and J&R Hivac are there. They make it possible for us to come in here and do this. All right, we've talked about pickleball and golf. We've talked about putting on a teenage program live show out here. We're going to talk about something this Saturday, right?
That's
And-
right.
okay.
That's right. We're going to talk about the Easter egg hunt that's happening this Saturday, March 31st. 10 a.m. we're going to start the 0 to 2-year-olds, and then following that we're going to start the 3 and 4-year-olds, and then the 5 and 6-year-olds, and then the 7 through 10-year-olds.
Okay.
So it's going to be like in each, how the courthouse
Sure,
lawn
sure.
is divided into fours,
Right,
and
yeah.
so that's where it will start. And then we'll have the event house where the bunny will be. I think he's already in town, but I'm not for sure.
Incidentally, I heard by Bunny Mail
Oh,
that the Easter Bunny might stop by this morning here on the show.
oh, okay. Well, great.
Like maybe do the bunny hop, and maybe I'll get a bunny hug or whatever. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, you never know with that bunny what
You
you're
don't know
gonna
what the
get.
bunny hop. You have no idea what the bunny hop is, do
Oh,
you?
sure.
Are you old enough to know what the bunny hop
Well,
is?
I
Do you know what the bunny
Isn't
hop
it just
is?
a bunny hopping?
You hop,
The
hop, hop. Yeah.
hop, hop,
That's
hop,
the only
yeah.
dance I could ever do. I mean, I was on a ballroom dance. I
What
could
about
do the
the
bunny
chicken
hop.
dance?
I
Can you
I could
that
do the
one
chicken.
too?
I could do the twist.
Okay.
And that's why I have back problems now. That's what I did
You
it
did
too
too
much.
much twisting,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's get
No,
back to
okay.
Easter egg.
All right, so it's at the courthouse lawn this Saturday. Please come out 10 o'clock. Bring a camera if you want pictures, because we don't do that, so you have to do it yourself. With the bunny, we have eggs. I stuffed 1,600
Sure.
eggs or more, and we have 350 Easter bags that are available all through town. That the businesses
Sure.
purchase them, and I'd also like to thank B&B Ready Mix. They did not get on the list on time, but they made a very grateful donation, and
Great,
so we want to
okay.
really thank B&B Ready Mix for their donation, and then everyone else that is on the list.
Sure.
And so get your Easter bag ticket at the booth. So we'll have a booth there. So that's what's happening this Saturday. Please come out if you can.
When's it
Dress
start?
appropriate.
Okay.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's going to be cold, isn't it?
It's supposed to be a little
Chilly,
chilly.
okay,
Yes.
but
so,
that,
you
Easter,
never know with
Easter.
weather. It's just the way it is.
Okay.
But yeah.
And all age groups and everything?
0 to 10.
I tried to do it last year, and they wouldn't let me in. They thought I looked too young.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't old enough to do it.
Probably. And bring a basket,
Uh-huh.
and you get up to 3 eggs at a time.
Oh, you get three.
3 eggs
Oh.
at a time. And then we're going to have big eggs this year. And then, the Easter Bunny's leaving big eggs. And so make sure you look at the big egg, because there might be, it's telling you to go see the Easter Bunny, because you
okay.
might get a special treat.
Okay,
So,
wow, all right.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, dress warm, because you never know. You can always peel off the layers.
Right.
You just can't add them
Right,
on.
and that's for sure. And when do you put those eggs out there, though?
It's a secret.
Okay.
Early. The Easter
Yeah,
Bunny.
you have to
night.
garden to keep
No,
it.
no,
okay,
But
okay.
it just looks so pretty when you
Sure,
drive by,
right,
and they're all
yeah.
out there, all colorful and stuff. It looks really neat.
All right.
Okay, my next thing is we're starting something new with the PHS kiddos at the high school,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, and PHS is going to do the duck race this year together. So,
Okay.
and it's a different time. It's going to be a whole different duck
Okay.
thing. Okay, so what we're doing is it's going to be Saturday, June 30th. And the reason I'm talking about this now is because when I leave here, I'm going to go out to the high school and give the kids or their sponsors their tickets. And what the tickets look like will be like this. And they will be numbered
Oh, wow.
1, 2, 3, 4. And the kids get to sell them. So the tickets are going to be $5 a piece for a duck. And then a family of ducks is 5 for 20. A flock of ducks is 10 for 40. And oodles of ducks is 25 for 75. So that's your best
Okay,
deal.
sure, right.
And the freshmen, sophomore, and juniors are selling this. And what Chamber of Main Street, what we're doing with the high school is, if a class sells, say, $1,000 worth of ducks, they get half
For the
for
do
their
things
class.
for the
Yes.
class to do things with the class.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what we're doing with the rest of that money is the people that buy the ducks. Say you buy duck number. What's your favorite number?
666.
Okay, so you buy that
I
number.
had to- that's
and-
not my favorite. No.
Well,
No.
anyway, so you get first place, and you win $300.
Really? Okay.
And second place, 150. Third place, 75. And then last place even gets a prize, so they
Sure.
win $25. And then but back to the classes, like the freshmen, sophomore, juniors, because the seniors are going to be gone. So whoever sells the most, Phillipsburg Chamber of Main Street is going to give them a pizza party also.
Wow,
So yes,
gee.
yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So please support the PHS students. And if you have any questions, call me at the office 543-2321, and please adopt a duck.
Okay. Well, you will now. Will it still be the same kind of race show out at the swimming pool like
Yes.
you've always done it? Only
Yes.
you're doing it different
Yes, we're
this
doing
year.
it a different time, a different way, and then we're also going to have I'm going to go around and ask the businesses for their charity ducks.
Sure,
So we'll
sure.
have that also
Okay,
that same
yeah.
day. But we're changing the date. We're changing the way we're doing it. Sometimes change is good. So we're
Sure.
going to see what happens, and we want to. Phillipsburg Chamber of Main Street is very involved with the students in everywhere, high school, middle school, elementary, all around. And I just feel like we can get they're going to be ones taking care of us someday, and I want them to like me.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm thinking a lot of grandparents are going to be buying tickets
That's
for
right. That's right. I
from
hope
their
so.
grandchildren. That's going to be happening.
I hope so. So yes, I want the kids to like me someday because they're going to be the ones taking care of me.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so and I'll just hurry up. But okay,
no,
so
we have time.
Girls' Night Out, of course, is coming up. It's hard to believe that April is almost here, and so I'm just like crazy busy. So if you see me and I'm like, you'll know why. But Girls' Night Out is April 20th this year, and it's on a Friday, and it's from 4 to 8. And so, but we'll talk about that, each week because I'm a regular here. So
Does anyone ever bring along their husband or boyfriend to that, or is it?
yeah, there's
really?
guys. Yeah,
Really,
there's
the guys come
Well, they
along?
gotta reel them in to see how much shopping they're gonna be doing and stuff. So
Well,
yeah.
maybe they have a little bit
Yeah.
of a pocketbook there too.
And everyone always asks me, when are you going to have a guys' night out? Well, when somebody comes in and brings me the best idea ever,
Yeah,
I
well.
will be more than happy to get
Guys
it all set up.
guys don't go in the
Well,
store.
not the shopping, but
No.
if they, I always think, what about a tailgate party, or what about a cook-off, or something
Sure.
like that. Maybe the guys want to do that. We just need to get a plan.
Right.
So if somebody wants to come in and, if you got a
Give me-
great idea, then come in and talk to me
Get
in
the
the
guys' night out,
office,
okay.
and let's have a guys' night out too. But that's going to be shopping, food, fun, friends. The after party
20th.
this year is going to be at the Branding Iron too,
Okay.
and we're doing a casino night. And
Oh,
so,
wow,
yeah, it's going to
okay.
be a lot of fun. But we have great businesses participating.
Mm-hmm.
Those lists, the maps will be out soon. The promotions will be out soon.
Sure.
So keep an
Wow,
eye on that. And the next thing, the day after that, the Phillipsburg County Convention and Visitors Bureau will hold their annual car cruise that Saturday, April 21st. So if you have a cool car or just not a cool car, it doesn't matter. You can come and we're going to have the car show at Sonic this year. We're trying something different. And so it's going to be from 6 to 7. He's going to have a special that night at Sonic. And then the cruise will be from 7 to 9. So
you've got
up and down.
there's a lot of parking area out there too.
Yes,
that you can
there
bring in,
is.
so people
There
can come
is.
out there and see them. Okay, and
Right.
then there'll be the drives
Yep,
up and down.
it'll be the drives and the music
Wow.
and everything else and stuff. So a lot happening. So really
Oh,
excited.
gee.
But the ducks will be on sale just for the month of April.
All right.
So if you want a duck, please contact a PHS freshman, sophomore, or junior.
Does it have to be through them, or can a ticket be purchased anywhere else, or it's just through the students?
I I'd like it just
To make it
from
work,
the
well,
students.
sure, that's why you're doing it, for the
Yes,
students, yeah,
because
for the school.
they're the
That
ones
makes
that are
sense.
going to be responsible, and they're the ones that are going to be making the money for their class. And so it's just a way of giving them an opportunity to make some money, because they don't have that fundraising opportunities very much anymore, and so we just want to do this for them.
All right, well,
So yeah,
all right, well, that's, you're busy,
am I?
yeah.
And then a meeting seems like every other night and stuff, or
Yeah,
every night my
meetings
daughter
and-
says, but
yeah.
she's okay. But we
Okay.
got prom coming up, so that's also another big thing. Really excited about
Riverless
that.
Festival's coming up.
Riverless
Wow.
is coming up in June, so if you want a booth, contact us. We'll have it on the website. Call the office. I'll try to get you some information. We just got a lot of neat stuff coming up in Phillipsburg Chamber Main Street. Yeah.
You know, I mentioned my favorite number, 666. You know what that is. That's
Yeah.
the sign of the beast, whatever. Well, I live at 333.
Oh, maybe that's your number
333.
then.
No,
There
no.
you go.
My wife always used to say, we're just half bad.
Well, I don't think you're bad at all.
Okay,
so,
all right,
yes,
fine.
I think
Anyway,
you're perfect. So,
well, that's a great idea,
Yep.
and to get the kids involved. And Morris was in here. Are you aware of that music thing they're going to have with professional musicians coming in?
Uh-huh.
And that's just things are really hopping.
yeah, speaking of Morris, I don't know if he talked about it, but another thing we're doing with the students from Logan and for Phillipsburg High School, the juniors and seniors, is we're going to have a career opportunity day next Friday.
Okay, I
And
didn't think you
so
said,
that's
okay.
at the Armory, and so the kids get to go around to different business
That's a
members
great
that we
idea.
have, and they get to talk to them about why they should come back to their education, if they're going to go to a VOTEC, a university, or online classes or something, and why they should come back to Phillips County.
Sure.
So that's really going to be fun.
Okay.
We did it last year. It was our first year. We're
That's-
doing it
that's
this
a
year.
great
We're
idea.
adding a lot more career people, and we just want the kids to know that we want to welcome them back. We want to do anything and everything we can to get them back here, because, like I said, they're our future. I mean, we need them. So.
All right, well, I'll let you go and do your
Okay.
thing.
Okay,
And,
all right.
have a good day Saturday. I hope
thank you.
a lot of. Is the Easter Bunny going to be there Saturday or not?
Yes,
Really?
yes. The Easter Bunny will be there Saturday, be in the event house, so you can have pictures
Oh, I know.
and go get your prize and stuff
Okay.
if you get an egg that says go see the Easter Bunny.
Okay,
so,
fine.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Angie Wells with us this morning. Busy time. Reminder also that the Tadpoll brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust, proudly supporting Panther Athletics. From our sales floor to delivery door, come see Jim and Terry at Olive Bowie Furniture and Appliance, where they provide gracious living for less. And of course, right now they have their big anniversary sale going on with all kinds of bargains. Sunburst Realty LLC, where you find the best homes under the sun. Professional Family Eye Care, see Dr. Julian for all of your eye care needs. Coombs Trucking, you call, we haul. Wyman Firestone, tire sales and service, backing the youth of Phillips County. And Biggs Insurance for all of your auto, home, business, and farm insurance needs. Okay, we're going to talk about hospice. One of my favorite things every year is the hospice and the Stronger Together. And of course, we're morning talking with Sandy and Kent about Stronger Together. A little bit of the history. We always do this, Sandy. We always do this. I was at the first meeting you had. I can remember out at the Phillips County Hospital. No one knew what hospice was.
No one had a clue.
And it's a great program, and you might explain how that's evolved a little bit, and how
I-
you've grown.
I think that was back in 1981.
Wow.
We've been around a while. It's interesting. Hospice really started in England and then came to the United States in the early 70s. And I think it was really about people, who watched others and what happened at the end of their life and really felt like it could be better. Really, again, it's people like us, people, the people who make our hospice. I mean, there's such amazing support, and it's people like that got together and said it could be better. And so we continue to work to try to make it better, try to, again, help people live with the time they have left, support the family. And so we actually initially became part of Hayes, the hospice out of Hayes. We became independent in '84, and we became hospice certified in '92. We were the 15th one in the state of Kansas.
Wow, okay.
So, again, we now serve 16 counties in northwest Kansas. We cover a lot of area.
Wow.
We have staff scattered across that area. We now also have a board-certified palliative care physician, and we have a nurse practitioner who works with us really part-time, but she's also hospice and palliative certified, which is kind of rare. I have to laugh. I don't know if Kent knows. His mother was there in '81.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I wasn't there.
And I didn't realize that you were going to that many counties. So what's your boundary? Kind of northwest Kansas? Or?
It's northwest Kansas. We do Osborne and Smith west, and then we do Rooks, and then we drop down to Trigo and do 3 tiers of counties west. It's interesting. We have serve 2 time zones.
Wow.
So that's a little interesting, with Sherman and Wallace, who petitioned into Mountain Time. Again, they feed into Denver, but calling back and forth, that's kind of a little bit of a challenge. We have volunteers in almost every county. We have our staff scattered. It's really neat. We're in a project with KU they're helping us put iPads in homes and then using Zoom to connect. And that has been absolutely amazing. So our staff are connecting more by Zoom, but it's even, we've been able to use it with families. So like when the nurse makes a visit, we can do Zoom and involve the families from other states. They can be there while the nurse visits. So again, able to be part of the care.
Okay. How long have you been involved with the fund event, the dinner auction?
I was going to say he's been involved in hospice since '81.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been involved?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In some way or another,
you were at that meeting with?
No, I was 3 at that meeting. But Mom was a hospice nurse and good friends with Sandy, and so I started going on
You were
hospice
3?
visits.
No, you weren't at that meeting.
So I probably wasn't at that meeting. I was probably in
See,
bed.
no one is 3 years old. I don't care what no one is 3. Anyway, so you got actively involved with the
Yeah,
auction.
I started going with my mom to the visits.
Sure.
Didn't quite understand everything. Just knew Mom was a nurse, and then as I got older, was involved with the auction and everything. I was a kid that carried the stuff up front, and then as I got older, would help cook and do things. And then a few years ago, got a little bit more involved and doing some hosts and stuff like that, and really sitting down and working with the ladies at hospice to try to bring in the next generation of supporters and explain what we do and get people there to show support, and have really worked with them to do that, and it's been fun. I think last year we had over 400 and some people there, and it's a great fundraiser and for our group, but it also is a lot of support when those volunteers and employees can look out and see 400 people are there to support what they do. I think that says a lot about our community. This community has always seen the benefit in hospice. And as we've brought new people into the community, we've invited them in and they've seen it. And, you get out there and you hear some of the stories, and that's how we also pick up new volunteers, from people that, help move things to people that go read to somebody and talk to people. You can volunteer for hospice in so many different ways. And, that's been the fun part of it is building that thing up and bringing in new people.
And, you and the other people that are up there talking and make it fun, too,
Well, yeah.
I'm talking about.
It's true.
Yeah, you get everyone involved. It's really neat,
We, it's a phenomenal cause. And that's why we're there, but we want people to have a good time, and Sandy and I have worked real hard to make it a nice, relaxed, fun for everybody. We joke, we have a good time, and it's entertaining as well, and that always makes the night even more fun.
Sure, yeah, and then food's always good, great, and I like the silent auction. Okay, so Let's talk. It's coming up April 10th, Phillips County Fair, building 5:30. That's a social hour and the silent auction. And then at 6:30, the smoked pork chop dinner and live auction to follow, that's fun too. I love the live. And the people what I really enjoy is watching people who maybe are on the silent auction and they've signed and then they go back about every 2 minutes. Someone else has signed below them, and they have to sign again. That's one of the fun things I think about the silent auction. They kind of hover around that area to be sure they're going to get what they want to get.
They get pretty protective of those items.
they
It gets
sure
a little
do.
entertaining.
It does. It does.
Okay, so it's $7.50 each, and for the meal and the fun and everything. That's really and I think another thing is great about it is that you see people you don't see all the time, and you sit across the table from someone and talk with them. That's what makes it special, I think.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons where for $7.50 a pork chop, baked potato dinner with dessert, you can't beat it.
You
And
can't.
we want everyone there. We want everyone that can be there. If you haven't been there before, reach out, get some tickets, and come. You will have a great time. Those of you that come every year, invite your neighbor, invite your friend, your new coworker, and let them come experience it, because it's a phenomenal coming together as a community. We have a good time, and it's for a great cause. And so those things just make it a wonderful night.
Personally, my wife was in the home out here for a while, and she then was to the hospital, and she was supposed to go to hospice on a Monday, and she passed away in the hospital on a Sunday. But I was looking forward, not because of the problem, just that she was going to be with hospice, because I knew what a great job they do on that, and you guys do.
Once you've experienced hospice, there's no arguments against it. It's a phenomenal thing. And my grandmother, who lived in Hoyt, Kansas, actually worked with Sandy to set up Jackson County Hospice. And so at that time, Phillips County Hospice, and now our new name, was responsible to working with her to get it there. And then when my grandmother got towards her end of life, Jackson County Hospice took care of her. And it's just one of those stories that came out of this organization. And so we not only helped the community, but we helped set up something with my grandmother that then took care of her at her end of life. And so, those are the special stories. Those are the things that make this group what it is.
And that what they always stressed was being at home for the most part. Being at home.
Yeah.
That's very important. All right, where are the tickets available? I've got the list here. If you
They're at most of the area banks: Farmers National, Farmers State Bank, Farmers National in Phillipsburg, Agra, and Logan, Farmers State Bank in Phillipsburg, Farmers National Bank and Trust in Phillipsburg, Logan, and Long Island, Golden Plains Credit Union in Phillipsburg, and then Mapes and Miller office, and also the hospice office. And I think Kent carries them around with him.
I do. I haul them around like business cards. And we have a Facebook page out there. And if people will just put on there they'd like them, we'll find them. Everybody, people have jobs, people have kids. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get places.
Sure.
We work very, very hard to get people there. We want as many people as we can hold. And so if you want tickets, get on there, let us know, and we'll find you.
Okay. For years, I know one year I got a clock. I've got two different clocks at two different times. I've got something out here in Danny's office that I got. It's a wagon that pulled by and different things through the years I've gotten. But lately, there seems to be something that's on the baklava. Now, my question is, are you having baklava again this year?
We are having baklava. We're going to pick it up that Saturday before.
Really? Okay.
But Debbie's not going to be able to join us this year.
She
She
isn't.
has a conflict, but she was here last year.
Sure, right.
Had a great time.
I think she was across the table from me.
She was. She
yeah.
was.
But there's another story, Tad. We have a woman that lived in Smith Center, very, very close to our organization. Baklava has become a mascot almost for this event. She moves to Manhattan and still makes sure that we have it every year.
Right.
Because of how much confidence and faith that she has in this organization. And that's just one of those great stories that's part of that
And
night.
it was always it was in, Darren Olive and I would go at it, and someone else, and I didn't always get it because sometimes you got a little beyond my pocketbook. But last year she did bring some. To be
Just
sure,
for
I got
you.
it just for me. She brought
She
some
did.
just for me.
She did.
Yeah, and so I appreciate that.
And I just have to say again, it's always amazing how far the reach goes. She's now the chair of the board of home care and hospice in Manhattan.
Okay, and
Still involved.
That's
and she learned to make it from her husband, who was from Greece.
Oh,
Right?
the baklava to make,
Yeah.
yeah. It's made the right way.
I was back in New York in January, and went to Delhi. I had some baklava. It was all right, but it's not like her baklava.
It's not Debbie's,
Yeah, Debbie. Okay, you know yet what else you have? You want to share some of those things with what's
You know,
for the
we
auction?
have, it's always really interesting. We do sometimes send away for items from a distance. But, we have amazing talent in this area. And every year it's kind of seeing the things and what people bring and what people are willing to share. We've got a variety of quilts. Again, beautiful quilts. They're always beautiful. We have some woodwork items. I'm trying to think what else I've seen. You've seen some.
Yeah, and every year when people come, it's kind of interesting. They'll come for the first year and see what it is and want to do some things. I have a friend over in Smith Center, Carla Schlatter, who came for the first time and loved it. And she took an antique bookcase, and Sandy hadn't even seen it, and redid it. And I've got to go pick up. And like I said, once you've experienced hospice, you want to be a part of it.
Sure, right.
But the talent, the local talent that we have, whether it's the metalwork, the woodworking, the pies that weigh 5 pounds, those are the things that do so well, because it's not just a pie, it's from the same people every year that appreciate it. The woodworking is beautiful, the metalwork is beautiful. We've got a lot of talented people here.
And I think, the food particularly, I'm always interested in on everything they have, and they get a reputation for such and such, and you get that every year. So, and
cinnamon rolls and cookies,
Sure.
and again, we have so much different talent locally that it's always kind of a surprise to see what's out there. And
well, it's. I think someone's coming on next week to kind of bring us up to date.
And we'll have a list of items.
Okay, that's what I want. Is there any chance of a KU basketball or a K-State basketball, or have you got into that yet?
I don't know. We'll take a look at it. Probably a little tough to get KU to sign anything right now. They kind of few things going on.
I know.
But,
they had one. They had one for the
CASA.
Yep. And I my son had given me a number that could be bid on it, and it went way beyond what his number was. So, and that.
We're a little bit more partial to our purple.
Yeah, I know.
Just a little bit much. And
I thought you had a. Haven't you had a football or something autographed?
We've had, and it just goes back to what Sandy says in the reach is we've still got, we're pumping out kids from these areas. Jeff Dezine was manager at the K-State. With the K-State basketball team up until this year. Now he's with K-State University Athletics.
Yeah.
I've got Joni Wyman is big into it.
Yeah.
And they're always been able to reach out to us. Kenton Olive has always got us Fort Hayes stuff.
Yeah.
We have a phenomenal Fort Hayes following. That university bought into our hospice fundraiser.
Sure.
Not just Kenton, but his bosses, the administration, the athletic department, and so that's been a big help too. And I'm not a Fort Hayes alum, but I'm very, very proud of our partnership of Fort Hayes.
I'm a Fort Hayes alum, and I am proud of it.
Yeah,
They've done
and
some
they have been phenomenal, and it's a relationship I'm very proud of.
It really is. They do a great job, and you don't believe it, just ask Dennis Miller. He'll tell
Yes.
you. All right. Well, have we covered pretty much? It's coming up again on the fund dinner and auction the 28th.
10th.
And I'll leave that
I'm
for
sorry.
you.
Yeah, there we go. 10th. There. That a week from.
A week from
A
Tuesday.
week from Tuesday. It's coming up.
It is.
Yeah.
And you'll have a great opportunity. Like I think I've attended every one, and I've been maybe in New York one or two times back with the kids. But it's a great. You have fun, and you can get items, and the food's good, and you talk to a lot of people. That's the thing. It's amazing how many people come up and say, "Well, I haven't seen you for a while," you know.
Yes.
And,
It's a good representation of who we are as people.
you had four. How many did you have last year?
It was
they
over
were putting up chairs. They were
425.
putting up
Yeah,
chairs
we
at the
were,
end
we
there.
were.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the theme this year, we really wanted to acknowledge just how much we are who we are because of each of the individuals that help and join together. And so that's why we've picked the theme Stronger Together.
It sure is. It's a great theme there. All right. Well, I don't know who. Will you be back next week? Or
Well,
who?
I think
We'll be
see.
back.
Okay,
we
we'll
will
have
be
someone back next
We'll
week
have
for
somebody
possible.
back,
All
and
right.
we'll have a list.
All right, and okay, and I recommend that you get your tickets $7.50 for a meal and all that fun, a whole evening for $7.50.
Can't beat it.
That's not a New York night, is it? No. You add about 2 zeros to that is what it'd be in New York or somewhere else. So it's great. I hardly recommend it, and I haven't got my ticket yet. I have to.
We'll make sure we get you one.
We'll have one for you.
We'll see you. Thanks a lot. We'll see
Thanks,
you next
Thank
week. Yeah,
you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. I think we have one more guest this morning. Is Wes out there? Okay. All right, we'll get Wes in here. And I kind of hope the Easter Bunny knows where we are here. Come on in, Wes. We'll get you down there to talk about walking as a good program. And some other things going on there. Busy time over at the center, isn't it, Wes?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's talk about the walk program. That's coming up a week from this Saturday, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, our Encore Living committee is inviting people to come take a walk with us.
Mhm.
We're just trying to promote getting people out and moving and getting some exercise for health benefits, for social connections.
Are you trying to get, or you're meeting to kind of get things and then maybe give them some kind of a program or try to find out, are you planning on walking together? Is that,
Yeah. What we're going to try to do, a lot of this is going to be an organizational type of
Sure.
a meeting to begin with to see what kinds of interests people have. But we have different ideas, such as putting together kind of a game-like thing where you can go to certain neighborhoods and get bonus points or something like that.
Okay, yeah, all right. Hey, that's a neat idea.
And we've been talking about maybe once a month or so, we might take a field trip to one of the lakes or reservoirs or something that has
That's good.
walking trails there
great.
and do those kinds of things.
Sure.
But we're also trying to put together the program that will accommodate all abilities and ages. You know, some people can't walk very far.
Yeah.
So we're going to still try to encourage that and allow them to
Sure.
walk maybe a shorter distance or a different route or something along those lines. And other people, you know, like to walk a lot, so
Yeah.
we'll have other trails and things for them.
Okay, so this meeting coming up on the 7th, is that kind of an organizational to get to see what the interest is and
Yeah.
and maybe doing some things? Getting
Yeah,
started?
after we discuss what kinds of things people might have in mind, then we will just go out and take a walk.
Take a walk, right?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Do you think there's a lot of interest in this?
Well-
Everyone tells you should walk more, you know,
Yes.
and if you can, it's great. If you can't, and I like the idea about those with different abilities. You know, it's not just for someone who can get out there and do a mile, as opposed to someone who maybe can't do that much. You know, I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and you know, I know that there is some interest there. I mean, we walk a lot, and we see a lot of people, other people walking. Part of what we are also looking at is creating more walking trails around town, trying to help with. There's a number of areas that people walk
Sure.
that don't have sidewalks or things, and then we're trying to look into that. You know, so it's just.
I think that one of the best kept secrets in Phillips is the fact that there's a walking trail out there south of the hospital. That's a fun thing to do. It's not a long one, but then you can go, and there is some talk about maybe getting something for had been talk for the city park away, and the city talking about that. So, so get things going like that. And I think a good idea to go to other lakes and stuff and just go out there and walk some of their
Yeah,
trails.
because anytime you can get out into nature, it's
Sure.
going
Yeah.
to be beneficial.
It sure is. Okay, that's again Saturday, April 7th at 10 o'clock, just at the center. Just show up at the center, right?
Yep.
With walking shoes on.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, what else do you have, Wes?
Well, we're also offering a class that's, if you're familiar with Zentangle, it's a art type of activity
Right.
where you make a lot of different kind of squiggly lines and doodles, and then you fill in the spaces that are created by that so that you have repeated patterns.
Use colored pencils with it or something? Or if you want, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So you're just putting in different patterns
Okay.
and repeating them,
Wow.
and
I don't know. Does this pick that up all right? Did you?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll put it out there too afterwards.
Okay. Okay. All right.
and then when you put in a number of different ones,
Oh, wow. Now, who made?
Then-
Did you do that?
these are ones that I did. Yes.
Wow.
But
I don't know.
it's really,
Turn it a little bit.
Okay, I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
it's not difficult to do. It's just a matter of repeating patterns, and when you
How'd
get,
you start
when
out?
you
You
get
just-
done with it, it looks
You
pretty
just think
good.
of something you want to put in there and you had to put a bunch of them in? Is
Well,
that
we've
what-
got different
Okay.
different patterns that they
Oh,
show,
wow.
and you know, there's probably hundreds of different patterns and things that you can use. So you just kind of
Zentangle, they call it Zentangle?
that's how it started out. Yeah, it's a that Zentangle is actually one it's a program that's copyrighted, and they have certified instructors.
Right,
and
right, yeah.
we're not certified, so we've been kind of calling it
You can't
concentrated
Okay,
doodling.
yeah, all right, yeah. No, you give it a different name there, so.
But we meet on on the first Friday of each month at 2:00 in the afternoon
Okay.
at the center, and we just do half a dozen of the different tangles to see
You
what
just
they
kind
like.
of someone,
Yeah.
if I saw someone doing something, hey, I kind of like to do that, you can do that, you can come maybe copy a little bit on something. I don't know.
Sure.
Or use your own imagination on how you want to do
You
that.
can do that too.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of taking different patterns, repeating the patterns, and when you put several of them together, then you come up with a complete
Okay, wow.
picture.
Wow. And that's called, you're calling a tangle.
Yeah, they're tangles. They're
Sure.
Zentangles. One of the things that came out of that, if you're familiar with the adult coloring books that are out now,
Oh, yeah.
that came out of this
Okay.
kind of thing. So that when you get really fancy and elaborate, you come up with those
I
books.
used to love the color, that's fun. I wasn't sometimes I colored outside the lines, always try to stay inside the lines. Someone told me one time, says, someone who goes outside the lines, that's all right, because you're just trying to be original, so that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So what else is going on?
Well, we still have our game nights on the third Saturday of each month.
Okay.
Those we're starting around 5:30 Saturday evening with the potluck, and then we have bingo and board games and other kinds of things after that. So
So
that's the third, the third
Anyone's
Saturday.
eligible to come to that, anyone?
And anybody can come.
Okay.
All abilities, all ages.
Okay.
That's what we try to do with all of our programs.
All right, well, Wes, we appreciate you coming on, and particularly on the walk, coming up, if you have some input or just want to kind of, a lot of people don't want to walk by themselves, but it's a lot easier if you have someone to walk with. I know
Yeah,
that,
If you have somebody to walk with, it keeps you going, and it gives you
Right.
that social contact.
Sure,
It's
that's
good
very,
too.
very important, and can solve the world's problems as you're going down 3rd Street. Okay, fine. Anything else you want to talk about? Just
The other thing with the walk is that some people prefer to ride their bicycles instead, and so we're going to see,
Well,
if there's
sure.
enough interest in that, we might try to incorporate that as part of the program as
Okay,
well.
all right, very good. Well, Wes, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
you.
We hope that a lot of people show up for the walk.
Well, I know a lot of people like to walk. We'll just find out if a lot of people like to show up for meetings.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good point, Wes. Good point. Thank you. All right. Very busy morning here. This morning here on the Tadpoll. We, of course, will be here next Thursday morning, Saturday morning. Well, look who is here. Look, come on and join me. We have the Easter Bunny. Hi. Oh, do I get a bunny hug? Thank you. Okay. Can I shake her hand too? All right. Is it the? I know you can't talk my language, but I'll ask you questions that you can answer yes or no. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, good. All right. Are you going to be in Phillipsburg Saturday morning? All right. Are you going to have a lot of eggs for people? All right. Let's see. I got to think of another. Will you be at a certain place that people can come and see you? Okay. And if someone gets a special big egg, it's my understanding, and they can come over and see you in the house. You have something special for them, right? Okay. This is the best interview I've ever done, I think, And, yeah, wave at the people out there. I can't ask that question because, okay. Bunny hop? You want to do the bunny hop? Now? Me? Okay. Hey, now remember, I don't have my cane with me. Okay. I'm not going to hop very well, okay? This is the first. Oh boy, what a person will do to get on the TV anyway. All right, is it going to be a good Easter again? Is one of your big? I know one of your big things has to be that all the girls and boys really enjoy seeing the Easter Bunny, right? Okay, very good. All right. Anything else that I can ask you? Just wave, and I appreciate you coming on. You're going to be in town a little bit today around, so in some of the stores. Okay. We're going to be having lunch somewhere? Okay. All right. That face is something else. All right. We've had our fun. Thank you. Okay. The Easter Bunny. First name. I've often wondered if the Easter Bunny had a first name. Do you have a first name, or is it just Easter Bunny? Oh, that's not yes or no. Do you have a first name? It's just Easter Bunny, right? Okay. I'll let you go out and do your things. Okay. Who does your ears, by any chance? You have someone do your ears for you? Okay. Oh, boy. Bye-bye, Easter Bunny. That brings out the kid in me. And the bunny hop, I am going to go to rehab when I leave here, or wellness center or something. No, that was fun. Appreciate the Easter Bunny stopping. What you don't do, right? Do things, Rachel. No sports talk Saturday morning. It was always hard. We just discovered we were doing this through the years. If coaches wanted to be with their family on Easter and kids, we don't have an Easter. A day before Easter, sports talk. We will be there a week from Saturday at the bakery, and we'll be here next Thursday. I know hospice. That's what I think I have. Phillips County Economic Development, the Extension Service, I think is coming on. And we'll have other things by then. So again, thanks for joining us, and you have happy Easter. And if you see the Easter Bunny, tell them that Tad said hello.